America has a history of meddlesome presidents secretly asking foreign countries to influence our domestic elections. For example, the always sneaky Richard Nixon colluded with the government of South Vietnam to win the 1968 election. His campaign team sent an emissary to Saigon to talk the South Vietnamese into not ending the war until after that election, thereby depriving a Democratic president, LBJ, of any opportunity to brag about ending a much disliked war. With the prospect of a new president who owed them a favor, Vietnam obliged, and Tricky Dicky Nixon won. But history is like shampoo. The last step is always repeat. So cut to 1980. Iran has been holding more than 50 American hostages since the previous year. In secret, the Ronald Reagan campaign sends an emissary to Iran to convince them not to release any of those hostages until after the election. This was to hurt Jimmy Carter, and it worked. We only found out about Nixon and Ronald Reagan's shenanigans well after the fact. Because both politicians knew Americans would not be pleased with a candidate putting American lives in jeopardy, whether troops in Vietnam or hostages in Iran, for a longer period of time just to win an election. Might come across as a tad selfish. Now, when another president tried this more recently, well, we didn't have to wait so long to find out about it, thanks to a whistleblower. Back in 2019, Donald Trump blocked $391 million of aid to Ukraine. Not coincidentally, he then called Ukrainian President Zelensky and asked him to start an investigation of Joe Biden, Trump's rival in the upcoming election, and start one about his son, too. Trump didn't care about the outcome of the investigations. He just wanted them announced before Election Day. Well, there were no announcements because, you know, Donald is so good at the art of the deal, and it didn't lead to an election victory, but it did lead to an impeachment. So you would think Donald would be careful about using foreign governments to influence elections. I'm kidding. He never learns any lessons. Just ask his professors at Wharton. So here we are in 2024, and the only thing different is that politicians engaging in dirty tricks with foreign nations to win domestic elections go about it a bit more brazenly. They announce it in public.
Gershkovich, the reporter for the Wall Street Journal who is being held by Russia, will be released almost immediately after the election, but definitely before I assume office. He will be home, he will be safe. Vladimir Putin, president of Russia, will do that for me, and I don't believe he'll do it for anyone else.
And if Donald isn't elected, who cares about some American hostage, right? So in other words, Vladimir Putin isn't holding Evan Gershkovich hostage. Donald Trump is. Gershkovich won't be released until we give Donald what he wants. So, we have 3 presidents who have risked American lives to win elections. Well, that we know of. Yes, Reagan did what Nixon did, and Trump did what they both did. Twice. What could those 3 presidents possibly have in common? It'll come to me. Glory.